Hi everyone, I'm Arvind. I'm a level 3 personal trainer in UK. Today we are going to see about the digestive system and energy, how we are generating energy from in our digested food. This is actually a sequel to my previous video about the ATP energy and about the muscle structure. If you haven't seen that video, please tap the I button up there or use the link below in the description. Before we go into the video, when I say we are going to see the digestion system, is anyone thinking our digestion is happening only in our stomach? Let me tell you the answer in a minute. Come on, let's get into the video. Before revealing the answer, we'll first see about the nutritions. There are two types of nutritions, macronutrients and micronutrients. The macros are carbohydrates, protein and fat, which is really important in our body to live. And the micronutrients are vitamins and minerals, which is also important. But today we are going to see only about the macros, because that is where we are getting the glucose and the energy. Right, our answer for our question is the digestion happening only in our stomach? No, it starts from our mouth. Yes. When you crush and chew the food by your teeth, you are actually breaking down your food. That is the first phase of digestion. And your saliva produces the digestive enzyme called salivary amylase, which breaks down the carbohydrate. So in your mouth itself, you are crushing your food and breaking down your carbohydrate, which is very, very essential to generate energy. So 25% of your digestion is happening in your mouth itself. So when you eat, always crush your food nicely in your mouth before you swallow it. And next stage is it goes to your pharynx. Pharynx is here. It is just pushes your food further down to the esophagus, and the esophagus is here. Yeah, it's here, and it what it does, it pushes the food from the pharynx further down to the stomach. And if I could tell you about the more benefit of your saliva, when your saliva breaks down the carbohydrate, it also moistens your food, and it makes the food in a fluid state for the further easier digestion. And when it comes to the stomach is an important organ. Here the stomach produces a gastric juice called hydrochloric acid, which kills the bacteria, and it also produces the digestive enzyme called pepsin. It breaks down the proteins. And after this, it goes to the next important vital organ, pancreas. Pancreas is really important because the pancreas produces pancreatic juice containing digestive enzymes to digest further and absorb the nutrients. And it also produces lipase, enzymes called lipase, which breaks down the fat into fatty acid, and then also produces amylase, which breaks down the carbohydrate into glucose. So you need to underline the word the glucose, because the glucose only converting into the ATP energy, and with that ATP energy only we are able to contract our muscles like this and relax. I will tell you how the glucose transfers from the pancreatic, our internal organs, to the muscle. I'll tell you in a minute, because now the foods are in the internal organs only. Now it is digesting. The next, it also produces the one more enzymes called trypsin, which further breaks down the protein into amino acids. The amino acids helps to grow your muscles, which is like a building blocks of. And then it moves to the liver and gallbladder. The liver produces a bile acid, and the gallbladder saves that bile, which is really helps to make the fat soluble, to mix the fat with water, which is called emulsification. Whenever you had a big meal, please have a little bit of warm water after your meal, so it helps the fat soluble, so it won't deposit in your body. Next, it pushes your food further into the small intestine. Small intestine also a very, very important organ, because this is where your the glucose digested from all your food transfers into your blood stream. Because the small intestine covered with the capillary blood vessels, so that carries the blood. The blood flows into that. So when your small intestine is covered with the capillary, all your glucose will be sucked or transfers to the blood capillary blood vessels, so that it carries the blood all over your body with the glucose. So next is a large intestine. This is the large intestine produces good bacteria which prevents the infection inside. And next is the last stage, the waste product. Yeah. And now we are going to see how the glucose in the blood level reaches to your muscle as energy to use it. When the glucose level is increasing in your blood, as you see in the picture, your blood go to the pancreas. Hey buddy, can you please take some of the glucose level from the blood, because there is too much glucose in the blood. What pancreas does, it produces the insulin. This is where the insulin plays, and the insulin takes all the glucose and like a postman, and it goes to the liver, and it says to the liver, I have a lot of glucose here, and it supplies some of the glucose to the liver, and the liver converts the glucose into glycogen. Like, for example, compressing the several files into one zip file, and then the liver insulin further goes into our muscle cells, tissues everywhere, all the tissues, and wherever the energy required, it stores the glucose in our muscles. So whenever you use your muscles, the glucose converts into the energy. I talked about how it is energy is producing in the muscle to use it in my first video. And next, at the other end, when you are doing a prolonged activity and when you are not having any meal, the same way the blood goes to the pancreas. I have a lack of glucose here. I needed some glucose. So the pancreas produces the another hormones called glycogen. And this glycogen is also like a postman. It goes to the liver and says, I need some of the glucose from you. So the liver now converts the glycogen into glucose, like unzipping the zipping folder, and it gives some of the glucoses to the glycogen, and this glycogen takes the glucose to the blood flow and fills the glucose level in the blood. And still there will be some of glucose stored in the liver function to help supporting the other vital organs like brain and other internal organ function. Because if you don't eat for one whole day, you'll be losing a lot of glucose in your body. So your brain and other parts needs energy to function. So that required glucose will be supplied by the liver. That's all about the digestive system and the how we are getting energy to the muscle. I hope you understand. If you have any question, please put that in the comment. We can answer for it. And before we go, let's see about some interesting facts here. The fact is about the muscle. Our bone muscles are made up of the protein, and Have you ever wondered how what type of tissues our internal organs are made up of? Your heart is made up of cardiac muscle, and it has a thick wall on the pumping side. The right, yes, the left side. Sorry, and your other internal organs are made up of smooth muscle, and these muscles are, for example, the biceps. These are called skeletal muscle, and you can only control your skeletal muscle, which is voluntary muscle, and your heart muscle, the cardiac muscle, and other smooth muscle, you can't control it. It is controlled by the central nervous system automatically. If you would like to know about more about the carbohydrate, protein, and fat, which type of food is good to eat to have a good digestion of carbohydrates, protein, and fat, much more, please subscribe. Tap on the bell button to get the notification for my next video about all these macronutrients and what type of food do you need to eat for the healthy digestion and healthy life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you later.